Hi there, I'm Sonia, Spooky Boko, and welcome to my channel. Are you ready for a spooky treat without any tricks? I'm sure you are, because today I'm going to share with you not one, not two, but 3 fabulous spooky Halloween inspired designs. Here at my channel I'm all about the fun and the cute and hopefully the easy. And to make this super easy, it uses either hearts and some 1 or 2 60s or rounds. And the most that any one balloon uses is 4, but it's delightfully quick and frightfully easy to put together. The first tutorial I'd like to share with you today is how to make this really fun bat balloon. So to do this one, we are going to need 3 black hearts, or you can use any color of your choice. Now I'm going to be using my Legenda today because it is my best friend when it comes to making balloons, and it's actually going to help creating a little bit easier today. Some of these designs that I'm going to share with you today might be a little bit trickier if you're using a hand pump, but if you persevere and give it a go, I'd love to hear about your results. Feel free to comment below and let's get started on how to make the bat. All the balloons I'm using today are Qualatex, and these are 6-inch hearts that I'm using for this design. So first of all, with the bat, we are going to create the wings. What we're going to do is place the heart on the Legenda pump and pinching our fingers across one of the lobes, inflate. And you can see a lopsided heart starting to form. To help really exaggerate that shape, you can push the air out of this lobe and force it back towards the top lobe, which is almost fully inflated there, and I'm going to tie off with a knot. I'm just rolling the knot more towards the nozzle end of the balloon to give us a little bit of room to play with here, and twisting the balloon in just a moment. Now we want these to be about the same size, so what I'm going to do is perhaps add a little bit more air to this one. I think that's pretty close. And tying that one off. Alright, so I'm going to force the air to be more into one of those lobes, and you've got quite the lopsided heart. Just like the doctor told me. As you're holding the balloon, hold it over the uninflated lobe, applying a bit of pressure here and twisting off our bubble. We are going to do a pinch twist. And we're going to repeat that for the other balloon. Now my vest is looking a little bit dark, so to help me see the balloons a bit better, I might actually just take that off. Hopefully that's a bit better. As I'm squeezing the air in the balloon, it's forcing it towards our knot end, which is great. I'm going to squeeze off the bubble. It's about 2.5 finger bubble, and pinch twist. And so we've got 2 reasonably identical little shapes, and we are going to join them together. Bringing the 2 together, and just to help it a bit, I'm pulling it apart. As I twist. And that's looking a little bit like a frightfully beautiful hair bow. But look, you get an additional design if, you know, that's what you like. So we've got the wings of our bat and we have its wee little body. Now let's do the head. We are going to take that 3rd black heart. Now placing it on the Legenda. So with the love heart, I'm going to pinch the top 2 lobes and inflate, helping to prevent the air from inflating into those areas, and then allowing the air to escape from the balloon. And as the air starts to escape, we get these cute little shapes appearing. So our bat's ears. I'm going to tie it off there. So I think it gives it a nice plump and appealing kind of face shape, and those 2 uninflated lobes really help sell the design. We are going to now introduce our bat to its body. So basically this knot here and the space above it, I'm going to be making sure that's nestled in nice and snugly into the middle of my pinch twist. Now, something to be mindful of as you are twisting it in there, don't wind it in too tightly, because that little space that we have tried to preserve, the air is starting to go back more into it and fill in that space. But as long as you've still got those two lobes reading as ears, you're on the right track. Now, in terms of the wing placement, I want you to go ahead to do what you think is right. You can also play with the placement of his wee little body. I like the look here where I've positioned the pinch twist that I've decided is the front pinch twist just to the side, so he's got that little pleasing plump shape. But you can see a little bit with this one that I created, it's got I almost want to say a bit of a heart shape happening to it. So the beauty in your design is it can come out differently every time. I was wondering if you can give me your opinion. See, when I do the design, I am a bit undecided as to which part of the heart should be at the top. Should it be the biggest or the littlest? I think you could decide when you're making it. But I think for myself that I'm going to have them positioned to the top. Oh, he's looking so cute! Let's go ahead to add some features to really bring home that bat design. Now, when you're drawing your design on, not just any marker will do, because realistically we want to be able to see our artwork. So I like to use a paint pen here, and I'm going to go ahead to use my white Posca paint marker to draw in the detailing, that is the face and the webbing on the wings. Now this poor thing is starting to get a little bit old. Not me, although yeah, there's that too. But this white paint marker isn't brand new, so it might, the coverage might not be the best. I'm going to start off by giving a big wide smile about halfway down his little face. Let's add in some bangs. We just did some little triangles with some points that are just curving ever so slightly inwards, just for fun. Just a couple of little ovals for the eyes, and notice the positioning is just a little bit offset from the teeth, so use that as your guide. And then to go ahead to draw the webbing, I am going to come up into a peak and bring it back down again, and then just draw a couple of additional lines from it. So, to the side. Forgive my line work, it's not the straightest. So I'm going to repeat it for over here. And not too bad for not seeing it all on screen. I'm sure you can be a lot neater than that, should you wish to be. And then, hopefully those white eyes have had the opportunity to dry a little bit, because I'm going to introduce my black marker. And you could maybe use red to give it red eyes. That could be fun. And anyone might get a bit of a kick out of adding that red for the teeth. I wonder what he's been up to. But yeah, so that's our cute little bat. I hope you like that design. And that's me just playing with the positioning of that second pinch twist, and I really think that's kind of cute. That's actually super cute, I love it! Haha! One of the cutest things I've ever made out of hearts, and that's saying a lot because hearts are pretty cute, am I right? Alright, next up we are going to look at how to make this fabulous pumpkin, which could also make a fabulous pumpkin fascinator. You know what I'm saying. I love making pumpkin designs, and so this one is no excuse. About a month ago I was playing around with the idea of splitting some love hearts, and then I thought, you know what, I think that would make an excellent pumpkin design. This design is going to use 3 orange hearts as well as 1 green 160, and again I'm using my legenda because it's a legend. Taking my 3 love heart balloons in the orange. Again, these are 6-inch Qualitex. Taking our 6-inch heart, placing it on the nozzle, and inflating. I'm inflating that to the sides of my palm, tying it off, and you just want to give it a bit of slack by tying the knot a bit closer to the nozzle. And once you've knotted it, as long as you haven't pulled it too tight, you can just roll it towards that nozzle end. I'm going to repeat that, so we have 3. So a bit of a tip, you don't want to be overinflating these hearts, because if we do so, then it's going to make it a lot harder to do the next step. So you can see there's barely any definition of our lobes, and that's great because we don't need them. So yeah, there's that. We are going to go ahead to split each of these hearts in 2. So finding where you believe the midpoint is, squish and squeeze and turn. So we've got 2 kidney shapes. I'm going to repeat that for the other 2 balloons. If you notice your heart's looking a little bit lopsided, go ahead to adjust the air to make them more symmetrical. So the easiest way I've found to do this is to stack each of those twisted hearts on top of one another. And you're wanting to place the joins on top of one another and make sure that your lobes are all going in the same direction. So I've just done 2 twists to bring them all together, and now I need to play with the placement so I get all of the top lobes of the hearts essentially pointing the same way, and there is quite the competition for space. Oh, let's see, this one's upside down. So just adjust any that you find have flipped themselves upside down. Because what we'd like is for all of the top lobes to be facing that one way, and as I said, up. Also looks like a really sweet flower. I've played around with it to use as a flower design before as well, so that's another idea for you. Here's the green 160 I'm going to use to create the vine. If you're not familiar with the technique of how to curl a balloon using your legenda, I have a video here that you can watch, so why not check that out after this video if you need. Otherwise, there are other methods for curling a balloon, and I haven't actually thought about doing a video on those, so drop a comment below if that's a video that you'd like to see. But I'm going to go ahead to inflate. That's super fun. Just going to back the air off a little bit because I want to do some twisting in this balloon. And I'm just softening it a bit to allow for that, but I'm also going to use that to help connect it into that pumpkin balloon. I'm going to do 3 pinch twists, taking that knot, feeding it through to really help lock it in, and then doing that pinch twist thing. So hopefully you haven't lost your nozzle within the pinch twist, because what we're going to do is bring that to hold it into our pumpkin. I'm just arranging those pinch twists so that they sit in a visually pleasing manner, and that's also going to help your pumpkin to stay a bit more in place. So I'm twisting off a 3-finger bubble to create the stem of our pumpkin, and I want to create one small bubble right in the end. Or what you could do is allow yourself to have a bit of uninflated nozzle and use that to twist into your 3 pinches at the top. So either method that you choose, either squeezing the air out to get the uninflated end or twisting off a bubble and wrapping it in there, you should get something that looks a bit like this. Super cute, right? And it can go on your head. I think all these designs could and go on your head should you so choose. Now, what I might recommend, if you are fighting far too much with that pumpkin and trying to get those hearts to sit in place, why not actually just use 5 of those lobes? And how is that possible, you might ask? Well, meet my friend. It is a sewing room after all. Choose your least favourite. This one looks a bit big, so that's my victim. 1, 2, oh! And suddenly there's a lot less competition. So if you've twisted those in, the air should hopefully not be escaping from any of those additional lobes. And if it does, well, that was a horrible decision you just made, wasn't it? But I think it's fair to say that that worked successfully. So if you're having issues with trying to get those 6 parts to sit nicely together, make sure they're twisted and nice and secure, and you can pop one of those bubbles before you go any further. Lucky last design that we're having a look at today. And if you're still with me, why not drop a pumpkin emoji in the comments below, because you know how much I love pumpkins. I still have one more to show you, and this design is a spooky skeleton. Whoa, ho, 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 ho. We are going to go ahead to create the skeleton, which can also make a pretty beautiful wrist accessory. But this one this time is not going to use a love heart, but we are going to use a round instead. So to make our spooky skull, you're going to need a white 5-inch round and a white 260, or it can be a 160. I happen not to have any regular white 5-inch rounds at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and use a pearl one. Tie that off. So this is approximately a little bit less than the size of my hand. So I want this top part to be fairly round, so as I'm twisting off this second bubble, I'm giving that consideration to how round this is. But I'm going to pinch twist this, so grabbing the nozzle, and if you haven't tied that knot too tightly, you can pull it back towards the nozzle. And that should hopefully just sit in place there. I'm going to go ahead to inflate the 260. So I've inflated the 260, tie it off, and I'm going to start off with 2 pinch twists with bubbles that are about 1 inch or 2 fingers width apart. Taking that knot, feeding it through. Twisting those bubbles in opposite directions to get our pinch twist. Then I'm doing a very small spacer bubble in between, followed by, you guessed it, 2 more pinch twists. We're just going to repeat the process until we have 8 teeth. So we've got a nice spooky series of teeth, and I'm going to go ahead to remove the excess, but allowing for a fairly generous bit of uninflated tail, because we're going to use that to help connect it into the skull of the design. And just because I'm superstitious about this, I'm tying a knot. So bring the skull and the teeth together, placing the teeth on top of the skull, take the uninflated tail, just bring it behind the design, into the back. So you can play around with your positioning a little bit until you're happy, but you can see here at the back I've got the big bubble from the round, and it's sitting there behind our teeth bubbles. Let's go ahead to give him some spooky-rific facial features. Because this is a little bit more complex, how about I get in a bit closer for you? But it's almost like an oval, but we haven't completed the shape in the normal way, and we've just poured a bit of a dip in. Terrific. Just adding a bit of symmetry to it. Okay, so let's add the nose next. Two little triangles for the nostrils, and we're going to go ahead to give him some delightfully wicked brow bones. I like to play around a little bit with that expression, and you can use your black marker to also add some cracks in the skull, all the cranial lines. But somehow it seems more sinister if we're talking about cracks. I feel like it's a little bit sinister adding in some whites to the eyes. It's like the eyeball rattling around. Now what you can do is, say it with me, add it to a headband. Just like this one I have here. I think a black headband would be really good, except for some reason I have none left. But when I'm using headbands in a design, I like to use nice thick ones. This one's 1 inch in width because it can really give space for the balloon to sit on without getting lost in your design. But if you take a scrap or even a whole new balloon if you need to, you can create a little band so that it can go on the wrist. And I think it's quite cute if you go like this, but this I think would also be very acceptable. So there we have it. That is our sweet cat. A lovely pumpkin. And our skeletal friend. Woo! I hope you enjoyed these 3 designs. I had a lot of fun creating them for you, and I really hope that you enjoy how quick and easy that they can be. So thank you so much for watching, and I might have one more spooky video in store for you if I can manage it during the week, just in time for some Halloween decoration. We'll see how that goes, and if you like this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up. It really helps out my channel and helps it to be seen. And something you might have noticed, I'm so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, which makes me really excited, and I'm actually planning a really fun giveaway for when I reach 1,000. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe because you don't want to miss out on that giveaway, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Like my vest, it came from eBay. I think it matches my pumpkin just nice. The end. Until next time. Bye. Ah, bats in the belfry. Today I have a big treat for you because I'm sharing not 1, not 2, but 3. My fingers are doing a thing of their own. I'm here today to share with you not 1, not 2. That's that 3 again. What's happening? I'm here to share with you not 1, not 2. So if you're not familiar with how to curl a legenda, curling a legenda, gee, well, that's optimistic. It's so good enough to eat. Ah, were you listening? Okay, well, I was just going to film just a tiny little bit extra stuff just to be all like, ooh, ah, Glenn McGrath. 6, 5. Do what works for you. Oh.